My name's Caroline. I'm an environmental educator at the Botanic Gardens. Very small people, and we were making seed bombs. So if you would like to join in with doing that, I've got it set up in the shade house and you can make seed bombs just as though you were 5. If that does not appeal to you, and we do rely entirely on the people getting their hands really filthy, if that doesn't appeal to you, then that is absolutely okay. Feel free not to take part, but it is there available for you if you wish to do that. But I'll take you outside into our teaching garden briefly as well. So our invertebrates teaching includes worms, and we have a worm farm there. We put the worms on the plates. We have a classroom magnifier over here, which broadcasts what you can see under here onto the telly, which is up here, so they can look at the insides of plants, and they can look at the worms wiggling around, and they can look at the little white hoppy things that you get in the worm farm as well, and go, ooh, which is what the whole thing is all about. We're about stimulating interest and infusing the students so that they can then continue their learning elsewhere. Right? We're often used either as a front loading, so they know they've done nothing at school at all, and they come to us to be sort of, here's a whole pile of information and we'll pick it to pieces later when we get back to school. Or they will do at the end. So this is what you've learned, this is what you've learned, this is what you've learned, and here it is, look, we're in a different location and they're saying the same thing. How about that? So it was valid what we were doing at school. So if you would like to get up, we can head outside. But very briefly, a tour of the garden is, we set the children here, we say this is how you plant a seedling here. We grow the seedlings in the shade house that they will then plant, so they're learning how to grow their own garden, basically. Hand washing is just around the corner. We have succulents, so we have a program where they make bird houses and they put a green roof on the garden, so that's learning about sustainable. Not about camouflage, no. It's about using all the space that you have available. So you don't have to have a big flat space on the ground in order to be able to grow the garden. You know, there are other places that can be used, not for them personally necessarily, but thinking forward as far as our cities and more sustainable cities goes. You don't have to have space on the ground. You can use your roofs as well. And they take a bird house away with them.
Have a staircase onto the roof.
Say again?
You can have a staircase onto the roof and do one. Don't think it's
not here. No, the bird house that they take is like this big. There's an example of one in there. They're about this big. We have composting programs. We talk about invertebrates, which is what the bee house is. The bee hive is there for. That's not an active beehive, but it's an example of a beehive. And we actually also have a new little house pinned on the fence there, which is an activity that we haven't yet done with the children, but it's a really, really simple way to encourage native bees. It's a chunk of wood with some holes in it, and the native bees, particularly among the Mullumbimby as it is there, may use that as a home over winter, or as somewhere to lay their eggs before they then die.
Does it actually suit New Zealand bees then?
Yes, we have a number of different native bees, some of which are ground dwelling and some of which live in wood and flat stalks, that kind of thing. So yes, it would suit the flat stalk.
What about Varroa mite? I thought it had killed off one of their wild.
It does not affect native bees.
Wow.
No, I know, it's quite cool. Look after your native bees, they're not flies.
Wow.
I have a bee discovery game if you would like to play a bee discovery game, which you can set up in the classroom if you want to do that. Just to look at the differences between bumblebees, honeybees and native bees, if you're interested in doing that. Yeah. We have cuttings, various, if you would like to take cuttings. Around the corner there we've got examples of different worm farms and invertebrate homes. So we've got the European style invertebrate hotel, which is completely useless for New Zealand invertebrates. Land care research helped us set that up about 10, 11, 12 years ago. And after that, we had one praying mantis, Uatheka, we had maybe 2 spiders and some dead ants. You know, it was really not good. So they then came back and said, look, this is not a New Zealand invertebrate hotel. What we should do is we should build a New Zealand invertebrate hotel. So opposite that and underneath the tortilla tree against the fence is a New Zealand invertebrate hotel, which looks like a pile of logs, which is because it is a pile of logs. It's able to get wet, it's dug into the ground, and it has bits of live stuff and bits of dead stuff, and I anticipate that it will shrink into the ground as the bugs, the New Zealand bugs, do their thing, which is of course in that situation to break things down, and it's got bits of moisture coming in and so on, so it's all, as I say, designed by Land Care Research.
Have we got some information on that? Printed information on that or on the website?
I can provide it to you, but it is not generally available as far as I know just yet.
Because everyone's going around, you buy
Yeah,
European style.
no, don't get one of those.
You know,
unless it's as a comparison. It has value as a comparison, in my opinion. But yes, no, I quite agree with you. You know what I saw at the National Arboretum a month ago? I saw hedgehog hotels.
Well, you don't. In New Zealand, they're a pest, though, aren't they?
I know that, and you know that. But this place was set up just like the National Trust in the UK, and in the National Trust in the UK, you've got Mrs. Tiggywinkle's Trust, which looks after the hedgehogs, and they would be selling exactly that thing. But this is not the right place to do that. Anyway, in the shed here we have a whole pile of kiddie-sized tools, and the children use those. The reason that bed is completely bare is because that's our digging bed. So they use trowels in these to plant the seedlings, but that's their digging. Try to have them not doing that because they're chucking soil up into each other's faces. We've got a life cycle there. We've got swan plants again for our invertebrates program. We have edibles generally. We have a program which is called Friends and Foe, which is looking again at invertebrates, but it's particularly looking at alternatives to chemical sprays. So when we're doing that, we do a potions class, so they take away anti-fungal and an anti-sapsucker slices of bamboo. So you can have a look at those as well. The disadvantage of those is that it's really hard to see if anybody's home.
Right.
So they're a great idea, and they probably are wet as in there, but you just can't see them.
Do you have lizards and skinks?
They should be there. I haven't noticed them. We're probably a bit noisy for them.
Right.
Although actually we do have those, just not in this shady space. They prefer the sunny pavers out front of our office
There's been
area
a lot
over there.
this year.
Many of them. Yes. Are they the right kind of skink?
Yeah.
Are they going a bit fast for me to be able to see the diamonds? Not sure.
Are you
It's still lovely for children to see them.
Oh, they're far too
I mean,
fast.
you
for
go in a
children.
hotel in Delhi and you
Yeah.
have a lizard in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Did you get any frogs in the pond?
We do get frogs in the pod.
But you get
Take a
get-
child with you. They are so good at spotting frogs in the bromeliads. I can't see them. They're really good. We have Australian bell frogs.
Because I got a lot of tadpoles from there. Lawrence said I'd come get them just before lockdown. And I took them and had them before. And they're actually, I think if they're in the sunny area, they actually, and they seem to grow larger. I think the shade.
I don't know
And
about
a
that.
lot of the kids up the
If
street.
you would like to do seed bombs, then we can make seed bombs. If you would like to do bee investigation game, which I'm holding in my hands here, then you can do a bee investigation in there. I usually work on the floor. You guys might not like working on the floor quite as much as I do, but really we've got two tables on which you can work together.
Well, I want to see your bug hotel for a start.